Have you ever noticed how some people in their 60s seem unusually calm during chaos? They don't panic when plans fall apart. They don't need constant reassurance when things feel uncertain. There's a quiet confidence in how they move through the world, like they've already seen the worst and learned to keep going anyway. But why? Why does growing up in the 1960s create this particular kind of psychological strength? The answer lies in what psychologists call stress inoculation theory. You see, children of the 60s were exposed to controlled doses of uncertainty, early and often. They practiced nuclear drills at school, not fully understanding the threat, but learning to function despite it. They watched cultural heroes assassinated on television, absorbing the reality that tragedy and progress often coexist. Their brains adapted by developing what researchers now identify as high distress tolerance, the ability to experience discomfort without interpreting it as a catastrophe. But there's another layer. These children experienced radical autonomy. They walked to school alone. They handled physical money. They navigated neighborhoods without supervision. Neuroscience shows that early spatial and social navigation builds executive function and risk assessment in ways that structured, supervised childhoods simply cannot replicate. Their brains literally wired differently because independence wasn't a privilege, it was the default. They also learned to wait for songs on the radio, for shows once a week, for answers that didn't come instantly. This built delayed gratification capacity, a psychological trait linked to emotional regulation. In a world designed for instant satisfaction, they carry patience like muscle memory. Perhaps most importantly, they witnessed the impossible become real. The moon landing didn't just happen to them, it happened inside them. That moment encoded a belief that human limits are negotiable. Combined with the harsh lessons of war and loss, this created a paradox. They believe change is possible while accepting that it's never guaranteed. They hope without naivety. They trust without blindness. This isn't about nostalgia, and it's not about claiming one generation is superior. It's about recognizing how environment shapes psychology. The 1960s created conditions, some by design, many by accident, that built resilience through experience rather than instruction. These people aren't stronger because they're special. They're stronger because their world demanded it, early, repeatedly, and without apology. If you know someone from that generation, you've probably seen this pattern, that steady presence when everything feels like it's falling apart. Maybe it's worth asking them how they learned it.